Well folks, welcome to a lovely sunny day here in Lincolnshire, and I've been buying again. This is something I've been after for ages, and if you've been over to my Butler's Empire channel, I've already given you a little glimpse of it. This is not a project, this is my investment, final investment buy, and let's take a look and see what it is. And here it is. It's an RD250 LC Yamaha. This was the 250 version. I've had the 350 version many a time, but this time I've opted for the 250. I've never had one, never ridden one. This was the first water-cooled 250cc motorcycle that you could ride on L plates back in the early 80s. Absolutely fantastic. And this one is in pristine condition. Let's show you. Coming around it, I was very lucky. I've been looking and this one popped up and I thought to myself, that's the one, got to have it. It's a UK matching numbers bike. It was registered very early. This is one of the very first ones there, as you can see there, on a V plate, which is 1980. And this thing was basically bought unregistered, and it was a production racer for one season. I don't know how many miles it covered in that one season, but then it was put away until 1999. The person who bought it in 1999 registered it and obviously put it in standard trim. I don't know if it was kept in standard trim, but it's actually done a genuine 4,900 and so miles. I've done 161 miles on this to pick this up, and as you can see, it is absolutely spotless condition. Totally original, as it should be on the 250. The 250 being had a thinner wheel on it. The 350s had a wider cush drive on the rear wheel there, but everything about it is absolutely spot on, even down to when they've obviously restored it to the like the olive green paint on the kickstart and things like that, the bolts and certain things like that. And as you can see, it's absolutely totally standard. It's obviously been looked after in the past, but I do believe that the previous owner, who had this since 2000, basically didn't hardly do any miles on it at all. Less than 1,000 miles I think he done on it. So from being a brand new bike in 1980, it done one season apparently as a proddy racer, and then basically put away until 1999, when it was then sold to a person who registered it. So that is my RD250 LC, folks. I drove it 160 miles home to get it home in the rain, and it didn't miss a beat. But as you can see, whoever's actually done the restoration on it is kept it true to Yamaha, and even down to the little plastic clips on there. This is stuff you don't really find, sort of thing. And even down to the sticker on there for the running in period. But absolutely love it. Original paintwork on it, original tanks and side panels. The side panels, let me show you. If I take this one off, for example, these are all as they are, unsplit, uncracked. There's no marks, no cracks on them whatsoever. Totally as it is. But as you can see, the wiring is totally original. Everything's as it should be. Nothing's been modified or played about with. Absolutely fantastic. I'm over the moon with it. So let's just put that back on for a minute. Everything is correct, even down to all the linkages, the Phillips screws in the cases and stuff like that, the carburetors, even down to the original spark plug caps there, as you can see there. It's obviously had new parts because it looks like it's had new springs and various things, but absolutely totally original, as you would want to find one. And bearing in mind, this is a very early, because it didn't really come into production in the UK really until 1981, early 1981. But as I say, this was 1980, registered in 1980, so this was probably one of the first ones in the country. As I say, matching engine and frame numbers. Nothing's been tampered with at all. It's all in absolutely superb condition, as you can see. There's no pitting or rust on the forks or whatever. A good, honest bike, and apparently it's been in collections for quite a few years. And apparently the chap I bought it from, he has got like receipts and previous MOTs, and that's totally MOT and tax exempt now, although it's now fully legal. It cost me £84 to insure fully comp for a year. I've only insured it for a couple of thousand miles a year. Didn't need no more than that, I don't think. But it's say I've done 161 miles on it. Absolutely lovely miles. What memories this brought back as well. It was in a collection, I think, and then it got sold to a company called, is it Fast Line or Fast Lane Autos? they were reputable dealers who deal with sort of really good standard classic machinery basically. And I've got a receipt where it had sold to someone else in the past for £8,000, this actual bike, but totally original. Everything works on it, and it's just like riding a new bike. I'm going to take you out for a ride in a minute on it and relive my youth again. But yeah, this one's on the road. Just to mention about my other bikes, I keep calling them projects. They're not really projects, they're more investments. I've got the RD250 DX, I've got the Fizzy, I've now got this RD250 LC, I've also got the RSX 100 Mobilette, I've also got an RD125, an RD200, Suzuki Bandit 1200, Suzuki Bandit 600, a Yamaha Phaser, an FZR 400, just to name quite a few, a little Honda 75 moped. Now I keep calling them projects. Now apparently some people keep hounding me that you never finish anything. Well, I hasten to differ there. Just because I call them a project don't mean I'm working on them from start to finish. Some people said you never finish a project. Well, there's over 1,080 videos on my channel, and if you care to take a look at them, all the things that are fixed or been repaired in there that have actually been repaired, tutorial videos, a transit van when I've done the transit. There's just too many vehicles for me to remember. But yes, that was when my channel used to be my main channel. Now, as I've mentioned on many of occasions, I've got the Butler's Empire channel, which brings in our wages, that earns our wages. So my retro restore channel has taken a back step and is now just a hobby. All these bikes that I've bought, someone said you should sell some because you're never going to finish them. I didn't buy them as projects, although I've been using the word projects. I've been buying them as investment vehicles. 1200 Mark 1 Bandit, quite a rare bike now, quite hard to get hold of, and they're going to go up in value. Things like the RSX 100, they go for about £1,500 now. So, you know, these are all investment bikes. At the end of the day, they will get done, they will go up in value, they won't go down in value. And because I've been so busy on my my Butler's Empire channel now, my projects have had to take a backward step. The ones I want to get going is the Fizzy, and I want to get the RD250 DX on the road. I've already bought the parts for that. I spent about £1,000 on that, so that will be coming up. I had no intention in buying one of these, but that's how life goes. At the end of the day, I am 61 years old. I'm living my life, enjoying the stuff which I had when I was younger. This is it. I've got a couple of choppers in there, Mark II choppers as well. And at this time in my life, rather than have money sitting in the bank, I'd like to look at these things, and I like to sort of go on them or whatever. Just bring, they conjure up so many images of memories of the past when times were easier. So they're not projects, they are investments. And by all means, come along and leave a comment if you like my investments, but don't keep hounding me, those small minority of you, saying you never finish anything, you might as well sell them, you're never going to do them, you always do this. Well, that's absolute rubbish at the end of the day. Anyway, cut a long story short, let's go out for a little ride on this and see what it rides like. Come on. Right, okay, I don't know whether you can hear me or not, folks, so we'll have to play it by ear. Hopefully you can hear the bike. That's what I'm hoping. If not, we've got to record it all again. Right. Are we there? Are we looking? Let's tip you back a bit. Right, here we go. Here we go. Careful on the gravel. Get those mirrors in the correct position. There we go. Lovely, absolutely lovely. I love it. Watch these bleating potholes. That was Jimmy. Let's go down the village first. It's still cold, don't forget. Oh, I love it. Let's go round the roundabout. Just a fantastic bike to ride. I hope you can hear me, folks. And to be honest with you, at the speed I'll be driving it at or riding it at, I don't need the power up high anymore. I'm happy poodling along at 60 miles an hour. It's just sitting across this now, especially in this condition. It reminds me of when I went to pick my one up from Garrett Lane Autos all them years ago, back in 1981. That was in Wandsworth, by the way. One thing is, I don't feel the need to do wheelies on it anymore like I used to. Lovely. I love it. What a lovely bike. Just coming into Horncastle. There we go. How lovely is that? Hope you can see all right, everybody. I think you can. Sits just at the right temperature. Listen to that. Absolutely treat to ride. Fun. I've had the big super bikes, I've had the R1s and all that, and you can't use the power. This is easy, and you get the thrill and the nostalgia. Have to stop when I see a fellow LC.
I say almost a snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's put it on a stand for a minute.
I've only seen 2 all day today.
What, LCs?
LCs,
Yeah?
I've been at Willingham and had a bimble round.
Yeah.
I've had a police escort all the way from Willingham to Laos.
Oh yeah?
Not just one police bike, but 2.
What's that all about then?
I have no idea. I've got a blue plainclothes one, pulled out in front of me, pulled out behind me, followed me down the road for about 2-3 miles, and then decided either the 2-stroke smoked or I wasn't going quick enough for him. So there was a guy broke down at the side of the road, so he pulled over.
Yeah.
And I carried on. I wasn't speeding anyway.
Yeah.
Looked in the mirror and I could see somebody in a bright yellow suit. And I went all the way down. I got to the first island as you get into Laos,
Yeah.
which was my first chance to have a good look at what it was.
Yeah.
And it's police bike.
Unbelievable.
I'm going up the bypass,
Yeah.
and he come past me at the bypass. I was only doing about 40 foot.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I wasn't sure what speed was.
yeah.
And he come sailing past me, and
He didn't give you a wave though, did he give you a wave?
yeah, he gave me a
Oh,
wave.
he gave you a wave.
He gave me a wave at the side, and
He might be old enough to know what they are then.
I don't know. Looked like it certainly looks a lot slimmer than me. But
Yeah, I know, well we've all put on a few pounds over the years. I take it you had one when you was younger as well then, did you?
No, I had the RD400s.
Oh, I've got a 250DX at the moment, plus I've just picked this one up
I've
a
got
couple of days ago.
I've got
It's a good nick though, isn't it?
I've got 2 RD400s. I've actually got 5, but I've only got 2 that are on the road.
Really?
And I've got RD250 YPVS F2.
Oh, the F2 with a
last
fairing,
one,
with a
with
fairing
all
on.
fairing on,
Was that the
yeah.
Brazilian one?
No, it's the English one.
Oh, right, okay.
Very last of the English ones.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I have this one. So
yeah.
this is my favourite.
I had one of them. I had the one, oh, it's got the bikini belly pan on it. Yeah, that's the LC2, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, I've had one of them. I had one of them back in 1985.
I mean, they are very similar in design,
Yeah.
but I mean...
Well, I've always had
got a power
350s.
valve on there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've always had the 350s, but this time I've jumped for the
I
250.
don't think you notice much difference.
No, not at the speed we poodle about it now anyway.
No, you're
What's that
dripping
drip? I know, I've
petrol
just realised it. Yeah, well, it is petrol, is it? Yeah, it is petrol. Let's turn that fuel off. Yeah, let's put it off for a minute. I've only just picked it up. I got it from Burnley.
Okay, yeah.
As I say, I got a 250DX. I've just bought a bloody fizzy and all.
Okay.
which I'm restoring at the moment.
Because he was my, well, it wasn't my first, and an NSU quickly was my first one.
Oh right, yeah.
And it was so unreliable, my dad took pity on me and bought me an FS1N.
Yeah.
DX.
That's what mine is.
Called purple.
You had the first one, that's about 72, 73, something like that. Up to 75, wasn't it?
I think it was 74.
Yeah.
That was at 16 and 17.
Yeah.
And I used it for going to work then.
Yeah.
The old man just got fed up of going to take it.
Yeah.
And I paid him on the never.
Yeah, well, that's right. There again, it was a lot of money back then, but it's not.
£169.
Yeah.
And that included a £5 insurance policy.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, £5.
Yeah. As I say,
My mate has the Mars Bar 350.
yeah.
Similar kind of condition to yours, but that's a really nice bar. It's been well looked after.
That's right. Well, apparently, because it's a V-Reg, they didn't come out officially till 81, which was a W.
Yes, that's right.
So there were very few on the V plate, and apparently this was bought back in 1980, not registered, for proddy racing.
Yeah, got you.
And
a lot work.
Pre-production, so to speak, you know. Yeah. And it was put away. It done one season apparently, and it was put away until 1999.
Wow. Yeah.
And obviously it's been restored since then. But as I say, it only done one season. It's done a genuine miles.
This is totally unrestored.
That's the way I like it now, to be honest with you.
I touch it up if I've chipped paint on the tank and and I've touched it up.
Yeah.
And I've been round the frame and rubbed off the rust and touched them up.
Yeah.
But other than that,
again, good standard condition though, isn't it?
Yeah, day-to-day maintenance. I like seeing like that.
Yeah.
And my F2's exactly the same.
Yeah. What about your RDs, 400s?
400, I restored that 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
At a retirement project.
Oh right, yeah.
I retired from work.
Yeah.
I did that one, and I'm now doing a blue 400C.
Oh yeah.
75-80%.
Was that wire wheels? That one? That wire wheels?
I have got the wire wheels, but I've put mags on.
Yeah.
I've got the wire wheels. If Sonny buys it off,
I think the clocks were slightly different than on the D, weren't they? On the D onwards, D to the F.
The D and the E were different.
Yeah.
I mean, the clocks are the same. You can actually swap the innards about.
Oh right, yeah. The casings are different, I suppose.
It's
they've got a triangle bit in it, rather than that and that across the top. Yeah. But now well, I didn't expect to see another RD today, to be honest with you.
We do about 3,500 miles each summer on this one.
Oh right.
We come from Leicestershire.
Yeah.
We spend all the time then.
Yeah.
We get all the little bike do's, as many as we possibly.
There's quite a lot around the Lincolnshire area, isn't there?
But there's non-stop in Leicestershire. I've done them all.
Oh right,
yeah. Work, we used to go to them all. You know.
Derby's a common place for it as well, for the old bike meets and all that, isn't it?
We have our annual rally in Derbyshire.
Oh right. I had a couple of 350 LCs and an RD400 which I sold about 8 years ago, and I've regretted it ever since. You know, but
that's my 400.
Oh, that's what that's like an F. Is that an F?
No, that's an E. It could be, or it could.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the F's had the red wheels and also the dog leg levers. I think.
Yeah, it's a 79.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, it's an E.
Yeah.
But it has got dog leg levers.
Yeah.
But who knows? They've probably been changed after years.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. Yeah.
I'm not really that anal.
No, but there are people out there. That's not an F, or that's not an E. It ain't got black wheels. It should have black wheels and all that.
That's the C I'm doing at the moment.
Oh right, nice one.
I'm getting there. You know, it's I'm going to do the spokes.
Yeah.
But I've got to go and lay another couple of grand.
Yeah.
On having them re-spoked and rehubbed. I can't be bothered. I'll put the mags on because I've got many.
Hello, what's that little
That's
beast?
a TS250.
Bloody hell.
A Suzuki TS250. 1972 that is.
Bloody hell.
But raced many years ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to flog that at the moment. That's another one of my 400s, me racing on it.
Oh, bloody hell.
Drag racing over the quarter of a mile.
Bloody hell. What you run that on?
It ran in the class that you got to.
No, I mean ethanol, not ethanol. What's the?
You use avgas.
Avgas, that's the one. Yeah.
They allowed us to use that because you could go and pick it up at an airport.
Yeah.
But it had to be ran on readily available pump fuel.
Oh right.
It's another RD400 in the background.
They do go though, don't they? You've got to keep the revs really up, but when they take off they really go. I've seen them go down L drag strips.
The best time I ever did was 9.84 seconds.
Bloody hell.
134 miles an hour.
Jesus Christ.
But that's all RD4. AR50 moped front end.
Yeah. Well, you don't. That's right.
That's another RD400. A guy called Rick Naylor in the other.
Rick Naylor. What? Is it? It's something to do with the RD forum. Yeah. I recognise the name. Oh, that's him, was it?
I got him into racing, to be honest.
Oh right.
I know him very well.
Wow. Oh right, yeah.
And there's the old 400, but
Yeah.
with
See, that's the one I've got. That's the one with
I used to
footrest
have a DX
underneath.
like that.
Yeah. That is a DX. That is a
I
DX.
had the DX like that. Yeah, it is. It's got the rear cone on the seat.
Yeah.
That's another 3XV.
You still got these?
Yeah. And that's my MC21. I love two strokes is a bit of a thing.
Was that a one-sided swinging on that MC21?
No, it's not.
That was the
MC28.
Right, yeah.
Where it was the
They done the 3-cylinder on the what was that called? NSR, wasn't it? The NSR 400, I think it was.
Right, yeah. I bumped into a couple down here. I've got a matching pair. The Hondas, the 400 Hondas.
Yeah.
No, it's nice to see them. Did you go up to New York, up to the...
We went to the first one. There was hardly anyone there. There was one of these there, at 350, one of these there. I saw that there. But it's on the, is it the 1st or the 2nd of May, isn't it? First Thursday of the month, isn't it?
1st of May.
1st of May, yeah. I'll be there this year on this.
Well, we'll bump into you there. Keep your eye out.
Have you been to, did you go to one this year, or what? Have you been to one this year?
I've already been to one, yeah.
What was that? Must have been the second one then, was it?
There was about, I'd say 60 or 70 bikes.
Because there was literally just a handful there, because it was only the first one.
Cold?
No, it wasn't actually.
Oh, okay.
There was a few cars there, but custom cars and all that. Old cars and all that, but in one car park and in the other car park. But it's only just opened anyway, isn't it? But I'll be there on the 1st anyway, so I'll probably see that there.
So where are you off to now?
Just riding around, see if people recognise it.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't pointing at you, I was just...
I know that, I thought...
Look, I'll see.
Well, I saw you get off it and I thought, hello, I've got to pull back round there and have a look at
I
that.
didn't know if you could see that, but I was getting a bit cold, so I just stopped to warm up a bit.
That's the trouble with the women, are normally left sitting down or talking or doing their own thing while the blokes are talking about the old bikes and all that.
I thought I could do with 5 minutes to let my arse rest.
Oh well, I probably will see you on that first anyway.
As I say, we do most of the bike nights round here.
Yeah.
We'll be there at what do they call it?
Oh, he was a bit of a fanatic. It's been in collections and all that.
Yeah, well, you're probably running a bit rich.
Yeah, it probably is. I think it is actually. Yeah, but I'll sort that. As I say, I've literally only picked it up Bank Holiday Monday.
My mate has just bought identical to that for five and a half grand. And it's not quite as good nick as that, but it's pretty close, and it's all a legit, all paperwork.
That's the thing, isn't it? Getting it, As this was totally standard, there's so many mucked about ones and all that.
Still, if I'd have known that, he's from Boston. He went all the way up to Crewe to pick it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a flipping steal! I'd have snapped his hands off for it, if you know what I mean.
That's a good price, isn't it? But they're asking stupid money, aren't they now? Like the 350s of these, they're asking sort of 8 to 10 grand, even 12 grand.
Last year at Wainfleet, I went to the Wainfleet open day there, and the guy offered me 12,000.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
He says, I said, look, I don't want to sell the bike. I'm not interested in the bike.
Yeah.
He says, everybody's got a price. Everybody will sell it.
Yeah.
He said, would you take 10 grand? I said, no, I wouldn't take 10 grand. Would you take 12 grand? I said, no, I bloody wouldn't take 12 grand. I said, you don't.
That's totally, same as this, totally original.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to hold the money. The ones that have been messed about with and repainted and all that, you know, matching numbers and all that, you know, all that. But no.
But I don't buy them for that, I ride them.
Oh yeah,
you know,
well that's why I bought this one, to see.
If it goes to nothing, I'll have had every penny's worth out of it. I've enjoyed it. And,
well, they ain't going to lose money, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Especially in that condition as well.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go anyway.
Yeah, we'll not speak to you.
Cheers, buddy. Who?
Mick.
Martin.
Martin,
yeah.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Wow, what a nice chap. you go, folks, back in the log cabin now, put to bed. So yeah, I've got to obviously adjust that float height maybe, or the needle valve in that right hand side. It was just leaking there on the floor when that chap noticed it, Mick. So I'm going to get that sorted out. But as far as a bike to ride in modern day, this thing feels just as fresh as it did back in well, the early 80s when I was riding them. And it's a fantastic example. I'm so pleased with it, and I'm going to be looking after this one definitely, because I can actually use this one now. I want to get the fizzy done next, as you know. I've got to also sort out the extension workshop now, which I'm going to be doing very, very shortly. Now I'm going to order the wood for that, because this is getting bogged down in here basically. So I want to be able to store these where I can just wheel it out and then ride it basically. So that's the idea for that one. But yeah, have a closer look at it again. Just like I remember them. As I say, I've had them since then. I've had a couple of 350 LCs and also 2 power valves. I've had the F2 and the LC2, and I've also had an RD250, which was a lovely bike as well. I've got pictures of them somewhere, but I'm not too sure exactly where they are. But as you can see, the detail is absolutely superb. Look, it looks like it's all had fresh brake fluid in there. It's been well looked after, and that's the main thing. They're very rare to find them in this sort of condition, and lucky enough, I've got one. I'm going to be keeping this, although I say it's an investment buy for me, but I'm absolutely over the moon with it. My one was red and white. I did show a picture of that in my Butler's Empire vlog. I might try and stick a quick picture in of my one back in 1982. I think I said 1981 earlier on, but my one was actually 1982. And I've still got the original receipt from Garrett Lane Autos. If I can find that, I'll put that in as well so you can have a look at that. And I think I paid £1,130 for it all them years ago, and I kept the receipt. So there you go. There's another little close-up look of it. Absolutely superb. I won't be going out in the rain again on this. I can guarantee it. But yeah, absolutely lovely. Just wants a bit of a clean up again. There's a bit of dust on it still. But these pipes, again, all these parts are really hard to come by now. A new set of heads and barrels for something like an RD250. People are asking £300 to £400 for them. Engines are asking for over £1,000. Things like the exhaust go for about £500, £600, £700. Unbelievable prices. And yeah, so there's videos on YouTube of these where they proddy race them. The 250s, that is. As I say, the idea of it was you had to use a production bike as it comes out of the crate, so to speak, and race them around the track. And I do remember back in the early to mid 80s, they had a series called the Pro-Am series, where professionals and amateurs used to ride on bog standard 350 LCs and 250 LCs, and just as they come out the crate, they throw the keys into a thing, pull the keys out, and whatever bike you've got was the one that you had to ride around the track. All on standard tune, standard tyres, everything standard. And then videos on YouTube, so do check them out. Try the Pro-Am Yamaha 350 or 250 Pro-Am series, and you watch the old videos of these things going around the track. That's why they was a game changer. At 17 years old, you could ride these, or the 250 version, you could ride this on an L plate and do just over 100 miles an hour. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video of me going out on a ride for it. I don't know if the audio was any good, but as I say, hopefully you get an idea. The thrill it was like sitting on one of these and riding one of these again, just like I remember back in the early 80s. Thanks very much. See you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.